think that's huge, man. And like a lot of individuals need to abide by that.
Right, and Andy, a quick question on the squats. Okay, so for people that go to Planet Fitness, Andy, and that's their gym because that's all they can afford. You know, they don't have free weights over there. They got the squat rack, but it's that squat rack that's like, you know, that's just one, and it's just attached. It's one of those bars where you can go up and down on. It's stuck to the squat rack. Would you say doing squats like that, and you know, you put the bench underneath, so when you squat down, as soon as your butt hits the bench, that's one, and you go up. Do you think that doing squats like that, do you think that's effective, or do you think honestly it's better to do squats where you have a free weight, free rack, and then you could actually take a couple steps back and you could actually go down like how we usually did in the backyards back in the day, Andy? Which way do you think is much more effective to do squats, or do you just think doing squats in general in those two ways is effective?
So one thing I've learned, well, first off, very, very, very good question, man. But one thing that I've learned in my field of fitness is that it depends. It depends on the age of the individual. Some of the individuals are typically older. They already have a lack of range of motion. Maybe the Smith machine, that's one that you were referring to in the first one. The Smith machine might be a better fit. At the end of the day, though, I would say that I would like for somebody to try to do a squat on their own power, because with the Smith machine, it's kind of it forces you in the quote unquote proper position, so you're not activating your core to get into that position. Does that make sense? Because it's fixed. It's fixed to be okay. You're going up and down, instead of free weight, in which you have to force yourself to make sure that you're not leaning too far forward, too far back. So now your core is engaged. So I would go to that one before the Smith machine, but again, it all depends on the individual. But to go a little bit deeper into your question, because you said if they are Planet Fitness, true, Planet Fitness they're not real popular when it comes to load. But what I would say individuals could do, for the most part, is one, if they're not an average squatter, get good at squatting body weight, because I think, again, you don't want to add load to a body that can't move properly. So you want to make sure that first master body weight squats. Once your body weight squats are good, from that point on, try to use, I think they have kettlebells. So you could do a goblet squat. What a goblet squat is, you hold the either a kettlebell or a dumbbell in front of you, so it's going to be front loaded, and then you knock out squats that way. I think the heaviest dumbbells that they have at Planet Fitness is like 50, right?
Quick question, Andy, for the people. Quick question for the people that don't know what body weight. When you said lift body weight, you mean like that their actual body weight, right?
That is correct. So like with no additional load, just the body that God gave them. Typically what you could do is you reach your arms straight out in front of you. So that's going to be kind of like a counterbalance. So that's going to help you out a little bit. So you can place your arms out in front of you, feet about shoulder width apart. You want to send your hips back first. So you don't want to just squat, just drop straight down so your knees touching your toes. You want to make sure that you send your hips back first and then squat as low as you can. Typically, they're doing a little bit of research on this lately. Some people say you always want to go as low as you can. They call it ass to grass, ATG, but that's not that important. That's not that important. I would say if you could get down to parallel, that's fine too. So typically, Robin, how you said, putting the bench under you is great because that teaches mechanics. But I think the issue with the box squat, sometimes what people will do is when they sit down, when they come down to the bench, they sit down and relax. You don't want to sit down and relax. So if you're going to use a bench, you just use it as a marker. So when you come down to the bench, you want to sit back, stay actively engaged, tap the box, but still be engaged, and then explode up. And then as you get better and better at that, lower the box a little bit more until to the point where you're able to do a squat at 90 degrees and then even beyond that as well. But yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah, because I do it that way because, I'm obviously a Planet Fitness member, so I got to do the best that I can. And so I obviously still feel the squats because, Andy, I pop up really quick. So people, I have seen people sit down. You don't want to. You want to engage. You want to keep going. That engagement in low rest time, it really helps the body out if you're weightlifting, because you want to get the results. You want to get the results. You can't rest too long. So Andy, you just basically this to this, dog. Like, so Andy, some people listening to this episode right now, they're like, okay, I want to get healthy, but I don't necessarily care for the model type body, the heavy six pack, the nice back, all shredded and all that. They don't care for that. So Andy, my question to you is, what does healthy look like inside out? And does for a man and for a woman to be healthy, do they necessarily need a flat stomach, or do they need a six pack, or do they have to be ripped? What are your thoughts on that, kid?
Another great question. To be honest, man, like, that was a real good question, and I think at the end of the day, man, you have to love yourself, man, and you have to be happy with yourself. So, there's some individuals typically when they try to make that fitness journey, that fitness transformation, typically what starts it is that they're not happy with the body that they're currently in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they go on that journey to achieve the body that they want. Now, in terms of like the body that you described, the six pack, the shredded back, it's I think it's a little bit propaganda. It's just one of those things that we've kind of been force fed to believe that these are the nice bodies. And I think like sometimes it could be misleading. You know, we live in a world where it's like it's not I don't want to say Instagram, but it's there, like, Joe, like social media. And so, but the thing is, we can't believe what's on social media, because not to throw this out there, but I do dabble in photography, and I know how Photoshop works. So if you see an image on Photoshop, you can kind of like, you can't believe that's how they look like. They could probably have critiqued their body a little bit, and there has been instances where there was like a popular fitness influencer who actually did that. He photoshopped six-pack abs on his photos, and it's like, but he was selling a lot before he got caught. You know, he got a lot of individuals, like he tricked a lot of individuals thinking that he knew his stuff about fitness when he really didn't. And so it's just one of those things where I think you want to achieve happiness, man. And ultimately, for me, I feel like what an individual should strive for, again, is to move and to move well, and they will grow to appreciate their body in the long run. You know, just achieve being the best version of yourself inside and out, and you'll get there. You know, it's not in the six packs. It's not in the shredded back, the vascularity in your quads or your calves. It's not there, man. You know, it's just one of those things where I want to be the strongest version that I possibly could be, and that will lead to your happiness, man.
Right. So you're basically saying, Andy, men with dad bods or women that are a little, just a little bit hefty, but they can do all the same workouts that somebody smaller can do. They should still be proud of themselves, and they should still be happy and feel like they are healthy. Is that what you're basically saying, Andy?
Yeah, and it long story short, yeah, man. My thing is the goal is to be the best version of yourself. You get what I'm saying? And that exceeds even fitness. You get what I'm saying? That exceeds fitness.
Right.
So it's one of those things where if an individual is constantly striving, and my thing is we call it the dad bod. But I think what we should do is we should redefine what a dad bod looks like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's like just making that while striving to get to this best version of yourself and just being a better you every single day.
True. It's crazy, Andy. That's what I'm saying. When I see a lot of videos on YouTube and guys that are basically health gurus, they just look. You see all these people and they're all ripped. Everybody that works out behind them, they're already ripped. You don't see not a single person that has like just a normal average body. And now me just watching that television and I'm just looking at those people and I'm just like, yo, damn, I don't have that body at all, you know, and it be making you feel bad. But yeah, Andy, everything you say, it's just feeling right within yourself, and then that also helps you gain confidence, like what I was saying in the previous episode. So yeah, definitely, you're definitely right about that, Andy. Really appreciate it. So then comes to my my next question. So Andy, do you think personal trainers are needed, sir? Or do you feel like people can figure these things out on their own with a health guru guy like you, sir? Because I know. Because somebody, go ahead.
No. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, man. I think with all the information that we have nowadays, it is possible. It is possible for an individual to get there on their own. Typically, a lot of there have been a lot of individuals who transform and change their bodies by themselves. But I would say that you could only get so far by yourself sometimes. It's good to have somebody to have somebody on the outside looking in, who knows where you're going already, because they already been through it, and they can kind of guide you a little bit better by you going through it on your own. Case in point, I did a show in December last year, and in the preparation of that show, could I have done it on my own? Yeah, I could have. There was a lot of contestants. There was a lot of fellow contestants that prepared on their own, right? But I decided to get a coach because, again, it's just one of those things where I never had a trainer in my life. I had coaches in high school, yeah, but I never had a trainer in my life because, again, I put that on my own shoulders. But having a coach and having a trainer guide me through my competition prep, he really helped me understand a few things that, even though I've been training for years, he opened my eyes to a lot of new things. All right, so small little example was like just understanding the importance of isometrics. So it was a physique show, so kind of in the realm of bodybuilding. And so what an isometric is when you're contracting the muscle, but there's no movement in the limbs. So like typical example would be like planks, but for the exercise that he taught me it was like a bicep curl. So he said what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 10 full curls, and then you're gonna bring your arm down while holding the dumbbell to 90 degrees, and you're gonna hold it there for 10 seconds, and then you're gonna do 5 curls, and then you're gonna do that again. You're gonna hold it for 5 seconds at 90 degrees, right? And that was a killer. I mean, it's just one of those things where I didn't really understand at the time how to implement isometrics into my routine until I was introduced to that idea by my coach. So I think there's levels. I think I honestly do believe an individual should start on their own. I don't think an individual, if some individuals feel like, okay, I never trained in my life, I'm gonna go get a personal trainer, I'm gonna go get a coach. That's cool. But I feel like, do what you can to the best of your abilities on your own first, and then reach out. You know what I'm saying?
And Andy,
so that's what I was saying.
Okay, and Andy, and for somebody who's new, basically like what you're saying, if they're looking for a personal trainer, what are the qualities that they should look for, and what should they avoid? So they can make the right decision on the personal trainer. That there's some out there, all they want is money, and they don't necessarily care about their clientele. How can you look right through them and tell? What would you be looking for, Andy, if you were looking for a personal trainer, like the coach that you picked? What was your level of expectation for him? How did you dissect this coach? And you were like, okay, this is the guy that I'm going with. What should a normal person or an average person look for, Andy, when they're in search of a personal trainer?
Yeah. So, again, great question. But what I would say to that, man, is, so this kind of ties in a little bit to the previous question, and when you asked about, do individuals feel bad if they don't